Heather Beispring and Julie Beispring, 45 C11303 SC2. For the record, would everybody identify themselves who they're representing?
Your Honor, Rick Cheek is here for the defendants, Mr. and Mrs. Bisping.
Your Honor, the attorney Angelo Sabato on behalf of Mr. Griggs.
Okay. And we're here, I see we have an order to show cause, an order of ejectment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are we at with this?
Well, Your Honor, when this started in small claims court, basically,
It's still a small claims case. I'm a special judge, that's all.
okay, well, there's an argument possibly that it's in excess of the valuation
Okay.
of jurisdiction for small claims.
All right.
As a result of that, it was why it was asked to be transferred here because of the counterclaim that was raised by Mr. Geekus. The original cause was started by Mr. Zunica, who subsequently withdrew, as the record shows, indicates. Basically, he had prepared a lease and a option to purchase, an option for the Bispings. And as a result of that, they took possession of the house under the lease for a 3-year period. He didn't recognize that he had also put in a termination clause, basically. It said that they would give up the waiver clause on the option as a result of that if they failed to meet the lease requirements. Personally, when he withdrew and I was approached, I explained to my client that wasn't acceptable under Indiana state law, and that as such, we wrote the complaint and said that we would preserve their option to purchase no matter what transpired as far as the lease was concerned. At the initial hearing, which was gone through by the court for the immediate possession, while the other issues were being transferred here, the judge said she could hear that. I said, well, let us see if we can work something out, and we entered into an agreed order. And that agreed order was we wouldn't go back on the arrearage rents, but they would pay the current rent that was due on a bi-weekly basis. That order is part of the file that's brought in here.
Okay.
They were supposed to make the first payment on Friday. It wasn't received until the following Monday, but so that's of no consequence. In addition, they were rumored to agree to assist them if they needed to because of their situation with the trustee's office in Center Township. To our knowledge, and I can't show what happened or didn't happen, we've never been approached by the trustee's office that they've made the application appropriately, or if they've gone in for that assistance.
For rental assistance?
Yeah.
Okay.
In addition to that, they've only made the one payment. Now we're behind.
And how long ago was that?
That was, the original order was entered on February 13th. The payment was to start on the 15th. That's February 15th, so we have the one for the end of February, both of them for March, and what's coming up this Friday will be the next one was due. As a result, I basically filed an request that the court reconsider this to see if we could get something straightened out, at least to get some answers as to what was going on. And at this point in time, it's obvious that they've got other problems. And unfortunately, something has to be done to maintain or put this house on the market or do something with it so that they can be covered.
Okay.
And that's all we're asking to happen. That's why I was out of, I don't want to cause them any more grief than what they've had, but their grief is now flying over into other families as well. So,
Mr. Geekus?
Your Honor, the one thing about this case that makes it a little bit different from the run-of-the-mill ejectment case is when this contract was done, there was $20,000 paid by the Bispings to Mr. Grid.
They paid him $20,000?
$20,000
for the option.
It's described in the contract as a non-refundable option, payment for the option to purchase.
And what was the purchase price?
$155,000.
Okay. So in other words, they gave him $20,000 down?
The case was this. and this had nothing to do with, Mr. Griggs doesn't understand that, Your Honor. They came to him through the realtor that had, the house was on the market.
Maybe there should be a foreclosure.
Well, it's not a foreclosure case. It's not done.
If they get $20,000, what is it?
Because it wasn't, the $20,000 was not paid by them. It was paid by and directed by a out-of-state trust or fund that was not inheritance.
Right. Okay.
Well, we don't know. It was handled by Mr. Attorney.
They get $20,000 on their behalf.
To provide a 3-year option, Your Honor, for a house at a rental price under the market value at the time.
I never heard anything like this.
And that's been 2 years into that at this point in time.
Our counterclaim is based on this contract being not worth the paper it's written on, because there's essentially a $20,000 forfeiture provision built into it. But be that as it may, we've got to try to figure out where we're at here. The Bistings have obviously fallen into some real problems. Mr. Bisting is applying for Social Security disability. He just had major back surgery just a few days ago. Mrs. Bisting has been unable to keep up her hours because she's taking care of him. That's causing him to fall behind. None of that means anything in a case like this, except that one of the issues for immediate possession is the ability to provide security to make sure that the landlord is at least not losing. He's got $20,000 of security.
That's not accurate. And we know that's not accurate because we know the fact that he made the tax payments, the interest and the mortgage payments, and the insurance payments on this property, which are and the mortgage payment, which is in excess of the original.
How long did you give them the $20,000?
It's over 24 months ago.
And they paid nothing in 24 months?
No, in 24 months they paid their rent. They're down about $6,000.
So they've been paying rent.
So they paid rent until
How much was the rent?
$900 a month.
So they've been paying $900 a month, and your clients are out about $7,000 in rent, or $7,000 in arrears. So about 8 months.
Yeah, it's right at just under $7,000 right now.
So they're 6-7 months behind in their rent.
I think it's not high. I think it's closer to 3 months.
We got a month alone.
I don't think there's been a month since then. It was only like
$4,000 when they went into that.
We could never.
I'm not exactly sure on that before
That's all.
the small claims.
We try to cooperate with, and we haven't taken away the option for the purchase. They can still have the right to sell the property when they want under the option, or assign it or do whatever.
Well, are they in any position to purchase a property now?
I don't think it's realistic, to be quite honest. It's still a possibility if the Social Security comes through that would give them the means of doing so, but with Social Security I can't make any representations to the court about that. I think it's going to get approved, but when? Don't know. What we would like to see, given the fact that there has been an
You don't
exchange...
mention this as a power to get back, is it?
No.
Even if the first do, before you walking out.
Yeah, I
Can't shut it down anymore than silence it, it still comes on.
All right, Mr. Geekus, go ahead.
Your Honor, what we've been trying to figure out is some way where, obviously, I don't think anybody wants to see these folks out on the street because that's not going to accomplish anything for anybody. It seems to me that the property does need to get back on the market to try to mitigate damages. We don't have a problem doing that. What happens between now and the time that this thing sells is up in the air in terms of the financial end for these folks.
Well, I think that's an issue we can litigate later, but, I mean, did they want to stay in the property? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, they do want to stay in the property. They need to stay in the property.
Well, how are they going to stay in the property if they can't pay any rent?
That's the point. Mr. Bisking's trying to sell assets in order to get the rent paid. I don't have a date for that, though, and that's a problem. There is that possibility that he can get that done, and of course they will...
Well, what if we gave him a drop dead date, or date certain, either pay or, I mean, let's say you had to leave, how much time would you need?
He's got no way to...
I'm looking just right now at 6 months before I can start physical therapy.
What kind of surgery did you have?
I had severe spinal stenosis. They did fusions from L3 to L5 with the possibility of, in the future, maybe etheric and cervical area. I can't lift anything over 10 pounds right now. I'm not even supposed to be riding in the car for 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm here in court today.
If I might suggest something in between 90 days, that's cutting it close, and I recognize where the plaintiffs are coming from on this, been on that side myself, but they do have that initial payment. When all else is said and done, they are not going to come out on in the hole on this thing.
Well, we don't have any guarantees, and the problem we have is this.
Well, how much time would your clients be willing to give them to move? To pay up or move?
If they would keep the current payment, that was what we tried to do with them before. As long as they kept the portion on cash flow, he can handle the smaller pieces of it. But they'd like to put it back on the market since they're not going to be staying in the property at this point in time, and they're not going to exercise. They're basically telling us they're not looking to exercise their option or the rest of it. What basically we're looking at is that we somehow put it back on the market with them an agreement to keep it clean, maintained, and whatnot, and agree to show it. So that, in addition, Your Honor, that would then give
So
them...
your clients have a problem with them living there while it's on the market?
Not if, in fact, they're going to
maintain it, keep it.
and whatnot. And to that extent, so they have...
When the microphone goes off. Put him on.
The option itself could stay intact, no matter whether Mr. Biggs puts it on the market now or they put it on the market. We don't have a problem with. If they want to live with the $155,000 number or something less, so that they can at least get something, a quick sale, and get some money out of it to do something else with, that's up to them. Their balance on the thing is only $135,000 plus the rent that they haven't paid, as far as we're concerned. And that's all we're basically asking them to do, is to stop giving us wishes.
So in other words,
at least talk about a realistic plan.
They can stay in the house while it's for sale, as long as they maintain it and keep it in condition to show.
As long as, the one thing that came about today, and I'm just putting this in front of the court, because you could fashion the order appropriately because of it. They did not get along with the trustee, for whatever reason. They haven't gone back to straighten it out with the trustee to pay their current rent, to help to pay their current rent. They were making payments to the property.
What was the problem with the trustee?
The problem with the trustee is I went in there, they were very condescending. They approached me with, "Oh, who was your landlord? Mr. Gribb? Oh, well, he came in here and he claimed that you don't even live there anymore. He evicted you." So I was like, well, what does that have to do with it? In court, they told me to come in and get some help. Now, they started in on me about how if I would have paid, he wouldn't be late on his mortgage, blah, 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 and attacking me. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm here for help. And they upset me.
You never talked to them.
I grabbed the papers off the desk, and I walked out. I said, you guys, forget it. Just forget it. Get a life. And I closed the door loudly. They reported to their boss that I was vulgar, abusive, and profane. They also said I was violent.
Where's this house located?
Southern side of Crown Point, Your Honor, just around the corner from the grade school. What's it? Solon Robinson.
All right. Mr. Glickis?
It's a
The idea of them staying in the house while it's on the market makes sense. I mean, that mitigates everybody's damages.
And they should, if they qualify for assistance for the trustee, everyone should cooperate to get that done.
Yeah. I will see what I can do to try to repair that damage and help in any way we can on that. And certainly they intend to do everything they can to keep the rent current and to catch it up if the finances are there. I just can't make a representation in the court about that.
Well, I think they should cooperate with the trustee put their house, all right, here's what I'm going to order, and you can prepare it. They can stay in they can remain in the premises until, while the house is up for sale, in order to maintain it, keep it clean, ready to show to any prospective buyers. They're to apply, and all parties are ordered to cooperate with the trustee to get them the assistance. They're going to need things from the plaintiffs also. And set it for status in maybe 90 days?
Sir, may I speak to that?
Yes.
The trustee is not willing to let us.
I will work on that end, whatever I can.
Well, I mean, if they deny you, they deny you, but, you got to take the steps. If you qualify, you should try to get it. If you don't, you don't. It's not up to, I can't order the trustee to make the payments, but I'm ordering you to do everything you can to try to get them to help you.
It was a matter of us coming through the doors for the next 60 days to ask for assistance.
You have to keep going back.
I will.
Someone has to keep going back to.
I have to go back every month.
You have to go back every so often. I don't know what to do, but,
In addition, are we at least, with the trustees' assistance, and they're going to make, we had the agreement with the $450 every 2 weeks. We at least knew what was going on in a 2-week period, and we didn't know what was happening for the court. And
well, how much was the trustee willing to
they
give?
kicked in $450 a month before, but I don't know what that's going, how long that goes for, what the requirement is. I know they put it basically for 2 months.
Okay, so in other words, the trustee was supposed to kick in $450, and these people were supposed to kick in $450 also?
Yes.
That was essentially what was happening before, yes.
Are they able to do that?
I only make,
Her hours right now have been cut back. I don't know,
I only make like $200 every 2 weeks now. I lost a client due to the fact that I was too kind.
Your Honor, what it sounds like is the more we try to make things work for them, the more we find ourselves out the other end. I'm at the mercy of the court at this point.
somehow or another, they're going to have to come with a $450 a month, Your Honor. It's,
Plus the trustee?
yeah.
I mean, because that's, truthfully, I can put Mr. Valley on and show that the payments that they were making in rent wasn't even covered with what was on the principal of the mortgage or on the other portal.
How much is your mortgage payment?
My mortgage without taxes and insurance, like $1,200.
That's from the
It's
trustee.
$300 plus tax, so it's $1,200 plus taxes and insurance. So it's like around $1,500 a month. Approximately.
In addition to that, because it's now a rental property, because he agreed to this and whatnot, his taxes have gone from a 1% cap to a 2%, which is double them on an annual basis. And his insurance company, because it's not owner-occupied, has bumped him as well. So all the things that he did to try and make their life easy starting out have gone upside down.
All right, and you're okay with the $900 a month still?
Yeah, if we at least cover the 900 and have the ability to show the house, we would be at this point, Your Honor.
Okay, that's your order. All right. I mean, I'll be honest with you, normally, I mean, I've had to evict people in sorry condition, they were in dire straits as you before. I mean, you can't expect a landowner to have his property sitting there losing money.
Well,
And I know you're in a bad position, and I understand that. That's why I'm glad that we were able to reach some accommodation. But you have to make an effort to get money, something to him. And I know it's hard, but
yes, sir, it is.
you have to make a good faith effort. Starting with the trustee, that's one area you can start and do what you can on your own.
And did we have an order that they're going to cooperate with putting the property on the market?
Yeah, that's right, I thought I already put that in.
Now, Your Honor, because they do have the option, and this thing, if it comes in with an offer of less than $155, because we haven't been inside the house, we don't know what kind of condition or anything anymore. We know it's a new roof that was put on by Mr. Ravelli since this happened, new exterior, but I don't know what else is going on interior. If they decide to sell, if we decide to sell, we're going to offer less than the whole $135,000 or $155,000, which would go back to the original purchase price. They should have at least a say-so. We may have to come in and ask the court to review it or whatever. If you want to do it that way to make things fast and furious.
Why don't you do that?
I have no problem with that.
Okay? All right, anything further? All right, thank you. All right.
Wish I could.